Hello, we are the Resident Gamers, and welcome to Breath of Fire 2. This is my personal favorite Breath of Fire game. I made the file. His name is Ryu. I've heard people say it's pronounced Rue, but I don't know for sure. If you would like to comment and confirm or deny whether it's pronounced Rue, go ahead, and no one will ever be able to read it because navigating the comments now is like navigating like Nicolas Cage National Treasures movie. Good luck.
Oh my, nice suspenseful music. Reveal.
What is it? What is it?
Creepy eye that totally does a lot kind of look like a vagina.
So excellent. That's such a hot vagina right now.
I don't have enough strength for my vagina.
Give yourself to God.
Right.
Yeah, this game actually has a lot of religious overtones, and I'm surprised Nintendo of America allowed it, because essentially the antagonist is a church that very much looks and is depicted like the Christian church, but I guess gets away with it because it's very clearly not the Christian church. And there are some nice characters in it that are in the church that are actually not bad guys, that are very good guys, and I think that kind of helped to the whole message then. And this game has a lot of that religious message and overtone to it, and I think it's really strong because it makes the very good point that not everyone in a given religion, even if it is evil and sucking the souls of people, not all of them are going to be bad people. And that can be said with a lot of organizations that didn't do any good in our world.
Yeah, but it's really interesting how little of the religious imagery of this game got censored compared to like Final Fantasies that got translated, where almost all religious references and imagery were completely removed.
Well, Christian references, because if you notice their depiction of oh yeah, you had to talk to someone here, didn't you?
I think it was maybe the guy behind the barrel, the old guy there.
I forget. Lately there's blah 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 kids acting. Oh, I was probably.
Oh, wasn't there a stat booster in one of the shelves in this beginning too?
I hope she hasn't. Yeah, okay, so I think it was this next lady. Isn't Yuan always playing in the back of the mountain? There you go. Now we know. It doesn't matter actually because you can make infinite stat boosters in this game. Well, so I wouldn't even bother.
If you do the one strat.
But I'd say if you're going to do that, unless you have a lot of time on your hands, I would recommend doing it on the GBA version rather than the we're playing right now in emulated of the SNES. I own the GBA PAL version of Breath of Fire 2, which is I know weird, but the GBA version only changes by giving it a couple cinematics and then a sprint function. So you'll notice I'm not sprinting. If I was playing the GBA, I would be sprinting, and I just hit auto on this.
And the sprint function would be really damn useful, but yeah.
I'd say if you're ever going to speed run effectively, it'd have to be the GBA version for the sprint function.
Yeah, I can't really think of any like game skipping glitches.
There are none. I've watched the TAS, and the TAS just is like, no, you just play the game. And it's a TAS, like bosses are missing and stuff, and it's like, no, it's a TAS. So we're gonna try to avoid doing as much grinding as possible in this playthrough, but
we don't want to make you watch through like 60 hours of grinding random encounters. You know, as much as, you love that one channel that's the random encounter only channel.
We're the random encounter gamers, and we just sit here and grind.
Yeah.
Our favorite game's Dragon Quest. Hey, don't get me wrong, I love Dragon Quest games. In fact, one of my favorite games of all time is Dragon Quest 4 for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Dragon Quests are good.
Yes.
But they are a grind.
Grindy is a word that would definitely suit the Dragon Quest series as a whole. If you were asked, be like, in one word, define a series, Dragon Quest would be grind. Final Fantasy would be, well, not originally, but eventually emo. Breath of Fire would be. That's a good one.
And a host of ripping off every religion for that name.
Well,
just take names from all these cool-sounding gods and religious places, and don't actually need any like actual truity to the religious thing that we're ripping off. Like Shiva, she's totally an ice summon.
Oh my goodness! Do you want me to?
She's not at all a goddess of war. And,
should I close my eyes? Sure. We'll look at the eye giant again.
I'm staring into your soul.
Eye giant.
Which one thing I always thought as a kid is like, why does that eye look so much different than when you actually look at the dragon? Like, even the scales don't actually look like they match the color of the dragon.
It's not even remotely close. It's possible, though, that could also be...
Death Heaven?
No, one of the other dragons that are behind the gate, or whatever.
Or
so
maybe that big barrel guy is purple.
Barbarous.
Or yeah, Barbarous.
You are a liar.
You lying son of a bitch.
See, one of the interesting mechanics of this game is that eye. You'll notice that it's a dragon eye. It's got the yellow crystal right now. It's a completely non-used mechanic, but it is fascinating because...
Well, there's a few places in the game that makes a difference, but...
Well, yeah, you have to, like, but all it does is just indicate how much they like you, and I think, if I remember correctly, the yellow is closer to neutral. It's interesting because when they love you, it just starts flashing colors constantly, and the only time you ever really see that are main characters that are in your party when you talk to them, and there are ways I think certain main characters will not like you. For example, Kat, you'll see later you have to save her, and if you do, then she'll love you a lot, and same with Bo when you
make certain decisions. Are we going to save her in the arena fight?
Oh, of course, dude.
As a kid, I never knew you could save her until one day I randomly just pressed up and I was like, what, I can push her?
Yeah.
What? But, yeah, for the longest time as a kid, she just got shot every time.
Yeah. And Bo. See, I think Bo has probably the second coolest, like, fusion form, but he takes the two ones that are almost entirely vital, which leaves you with the party of, what, Sten and Rand. Which is still a pretty good party, Bo, Sten, and Rand, but the problem is then you have two healers, only one major offense dealer.
You can potentially swap out Rand for Spar, because they would both use similar...
Yeah, but Spar's water form is not as good as Spar's fire devil form.
Well, there's also the earth turner form.
Oh, well, yeah, but the earth turn... See, with Spar, it's because of Spar's lack of, like, super hard hitting, unless you give her, her... I always confuse it because she has a female form.
It could be both. It's a plant.
It is a plant. But anyways, the devil form is the most useful because it adds to his offense.
Yeah, the devil sniper is definitely the most powerful.
But I'd say
also probably one of the coolest looking transformations out of anybody, really.
Yeah. The best part with the Spar is actually, I'd argue, one of the best characters in the game, just behind, obviously, the secret character. I'm not even going to say who it is. We'll find out later in the playthrough.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know.
For anyone who doesn't know. Spoilers, they were in the first game.
The resolution of this looks kind of weird. It could just be the TV, but Bo looks like dead-eyed when you go sideways.
Let's see. Oh, the tail. Oh my god, there's
creepy tail.
There's demons in this game.
Yeah, look, he kind of looks like... It's probably just the TV, but yeah, he looks like a freaking zombie.
Yeah, he does. He does. He looks like a zombie dog. Oh no, what are we gonna do?
Like, I'm sure on the small resolution it looks fine, but...
Actually,
such big resolution so close to the screen, he looks kind of weird.
Possibly, this is a precursor to Resident Evil. Right here. Zombie dog.
Dun dun dun.
Capcom.
Yeah. Oh, it's a monster.
Actually, you know what?
Even the monster said the zombie dog is a monster.
Are you saying you are the one? You say that you are the child for the mission? All right then. Wait, and what's interesting is it's like, wait, why would the demons want you to kill their god? Wouldn't that just be completely counter?
What, you dodged?
Whoa.
Well, this fight is beatable, but the exact same... Yeah, I saw somebody use cheats to actually beat the fight, but when you beat the fight, the exact same speech thing pops up.
Oh, so See, that's clever.
Yeah, it's like, you could beat it somehow.
Yeah, there are a lot of games.
You could potentially figure out how to level.
Yeah, exactly. There are some games that have those unbeatable fights that are actually theoretically through cheats beatable. Like, for example, Paladin's Quest, my favorite game of all time. You can beat one of the fights in that game, but when you do, because you're not intended to, you're just stuck and locked in that screen for forever. So it's like there's no point in doing it, but you can theoretically. And then this is all the storyline stuff that if you were actually watching this to get the story, I'm sorry, but you're going to be very, very disappointed.
Well, we couldn't do epic narration.
Epic narration. So then there's our tower, and then the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Ooh yeah. There's our wrestling reference. There's our wrestling reference for the day. Yeah, this game's got a really cool storyline, actually, and I think the character development is what makes this game so strong, is because you get a bunch of different characters, but they're not just like in a lot of Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy and other RPGs. I'm not even going to pick on those two, but lots of RPGs, even Tales games, have characters that are like, why are you even here? Why, like, what's the point? Whereas here you get why, you know, a lot of them have their own struggles, their own tragedies, and you help them work through them, and that's why they're part of your party. It makes sense. Whereas a lot of games, you're just like, what? Why?
Yeah,
like, why? Just for the sake of joining my party, you're gonna join my party?
Guy walks up to you. Oh, hey, I'm gonna join your party.
Yeah, I look cooler than the next town folk. I must be a main character in your game. Well, granted, that is very true in this game, but also, like, there's meaning, there's story, there, like, you know, there's at least a hint of tragedy or struggle in these people's lives that give them that sense of believability that they're not ultra prominent, crazy, godly heroes descended from the heavens to save the world.
That, and really, in a lot of old RPGs, the main character is the best character anyway, so...
Yes, and this game is actually not entirely true, because when you actually raise their stats...
It's sort of true, sort of not.
When you actually raise their stats, Spar becomes, I'd say, the best character in the game, because he gets a more powerful weapon than the secret character, who we will not name until we get there, and he has a higher HP pool and MP pool, and has the ultimate attack spell and a bit of curing magic, so he actually becomes quite a bit more powerful than the main character. But the main character still gets a more superior weapon, but he has a lower HP and a lower mana pool, especially, or MP pool, or whatever. But then, of course, the main character does get the super ultra powerful, you know, dragon spells and whatnot. But
and isn't Jean almost as powerful as the main character?
Jean, yeah, but he just has no magic utility.
Yeah.
But actually, Jean, I would argue, is also a little more powerful than the main character, because his ultimate weapon, you have to grind crazy amounts to get.
Stupid hard.
Stupid hard to get, but you'll eventually get it. I can go through the tricks later to give you some hints and tips if you're actually sort of playing this, to go, hey, wait a minute, I can try this again. Oh, cool, they gave me the ideas on how to do it, because trust me, I've grinded all of the weapons. I have a record on the GBA that has every single bloody thing unlocked. I have all the ultimate weapons.
I think it's a GBA, but I remember grinding to have everybody to have, like, the witch hat and stuff. The, like, rare drop from the Death Riders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Super good hat. God, trying to get one for every character.
And that, if I remember correctly, that was the same guy that dropped that ultimate sword for Jean. But the thing is that Jean's ultimate weapon is, like, double effective against virtually every single enemy in the final dungeon, and whereas the main character's isn't.
It's just a sword.
It's just a sword. So...
yeah, holy elemental weapon in a dungeon full of demons.
I'm just we're gonna do a little bit of grinding and get like a level or two. Oh, why did I go in there? The fair, the circus. Oh, come on, we should totally go through and see all the attractions. We should see we should see the grass man. Let's waste all our money that we gained for levels to go look at the grass man.
Come on, the grass man's totally cool and has an important part of the storyline that totally isn't relevant until we link it.
Yeah. And there we go. One thing that's really interesting about this game, I like, the different characters, certain weapons have effectiveness against certain enemies, which is why a lot of the game, Kat is a really great character, but she's not, up until near the end, she really drops off in usefulness.
Like, she has the strongest weapon, I'm pretty sure, in the game, but it's the...
second strongest.
Effective against some of the least amounts of my enemies.
And it's actually, a lot of enemies are resistant to her weapon. Which sucks.
It's like, yeah, we made her especially strong, but you'll barely notice it due to everything being resistant to her.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh my god. She's really good because of her speed, but she actually, I would say, once you max out any character stats, she's actually the weakest character in the game, no exception. Because once you can match her speed, she has the lowest HP pool, or I think the second lowest, and then by miles the lowest MP pool. Even if you were to get the dojo for no particular reason other than just being silly.
It's the only way to really use her. Is to give
but
her
even
the
then,
dojo
her attack, her wisdom is so crappily low that any other spellcaster is better. Like Sten. Who is, like, in every way, once you know, everything's maxed, it's vastly superior. Yeah, see, like,
And then using daggers, I'm pretty sure, is almost effective as the same stuff as swords.
Similar, but no, it's the elemental type that a lot of the swords have, especially Jean's ultimate weapon. It just makes him so much more powerful. Hunchbacks doesn't really look like, and I love how every RPG in the old era has to have a slime enemy as one of the first enemies.
Every single
one.
RPG has like a slime or a goblin, basically, like the beginning.
Yeah, the slime, an imp, a goblin, or something, which is interesting because if you take Dungeons and Dragons as the inspiration point, the slime enemies were actually kind of high up in the difficulty scale and were usually like brutally punishing. Like they'd have like acidic stuff, or they'd like a gelatinous cube. It would absorb your characters and stuff. So it's like usually like in Dungeons and Dragons, where a lot of these games get inspiration from, that's like the worst possible enemy you could start with.
These creatures are fucking retarded to have as beginning.
Yeah, what were they thinking?
Wanna
go hunting? Sure, let's do it. I done goofed.
Oh, just... And everything's attacking right, and Bo's just like sitting there.
Yeah, peace. Whatever.
I'll just sit back here with my bow shooting. Oh, the guy who with the fucking sword in the front line can just take all the hits.
Yeah. Yeah. He gets a really high attack stat. I think Ryu's highest stat compared to other characters is actually his guts. There's the gut stat, for those who don't know, simply means that there's a I don't know what the actual percent chance is, but if you take a hit that just barely kills you, you'll come back with very minimal health. It's really rare. Like most playthroughs, you'll never even know it's a thing.
Yeah, unless, especially if you're trying to make people not die, you probably won't know. So.
Yeah, like
you're being risky and like barely healing people, you might
But like I think I've probably beat this game 5 or 6 times. I've seen a guts revive maybe 4 times. Maybe. Like that's really pushing it.
And the main character is really who you're probably gonna see it on, because his guts is like pretty much double every other character's.
Whereas most other characters have a really bad guts level. Oh wow. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue onwards.
Let's just keep playing the game.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that these old RPGs are like just crazy on the grind.
You get 5 gold. You need 250.
So I'm just gonna continue on the dungeon, where it has a healing point for those who don't know, so I don't have to sit by the inn and camps. And the enemies are slightly more powerful.
Or just waste money on fucking inns. You know, who wants to waste money on a good inn?
Yeah, exactly.
There's this nice questionable pool of water in this dungeon.
Yeah. So when I go to a dungeon or a cave, I totally want to drink the water that's there.
It says it sparkles. It's totally good.
Totally legit. Actually, I have the old Ultimate Exodus Nintendo game, and there actually would alternate. You didn't know if it was poisonous or not. I think that was kind of a cool lead-off attack.
That's a bit more
realistic. Yeah. Like, so you don't know if it's poison or not.
There's this puddle in the middle of a dungeon.
Yeah.
Monsters are everywhere. Do you drink it?
Probably poisonous. Probably gonna kill you.
Oh no, it's totally fine. Just dive into it.
He ran away. Excellent. Oh, I gained a level. Hooray.
Oh, why did he run away?
Well, he might have killed Ryu, so I'm okay with that.
Experience.
Psst, psst. It's back again. Did you say something?
Huh? What was that?
Yeah, like, I'm totally gonna turn around to you, Bo, and go, psst, psst, it's back again.
Yeah, that guy who's totally said anything up to this point, I totally said something.
Yeah. Then when they drink they regained all their strength. Well, what if it didn't? Anyway, next time on Resident Gamers, we'll find out if it did kill us?